I think it's a clear conscience. Like I'm telling you everything that you're getting into. I'm telling you what we have. At the end of the day, it's a job, but it's also a product. And like building a quality product is what a craftsman loves. I had to be that so I could be this.
Erykah Badu said it. I heard it recently. It's submission because you submit to the mission. One of my favorite quotes is impact over influence.
Power is potential.
Yeah. And the less you use it, the more powerful it is.
Welcome to Become a Big Mama, the podcast where we talk about wisdom, technology, business, life, and mental health. I am joined here today with my good friend, Tyree Worthy. We're going to get into some questions that delve a little bit more into what he does as a content designer for various companies, his works around the community, and what he thinks are the biggest sort of pieces of wisdom we should be focused on today.
Cool. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Cool. All right, let's get into the first question. So your background, Tyree, is like a masterclass of shaping narratives, right? I actually had to Google and look up, what exactly is a content designer? Because I feel like I know, but I don't know, right? But then once I started to realize, even through talking to you a little bit more what you do, how important it is. So from influencing and crafting user experiences, I would say lately you've been doing a lot with AI. Specifically, you kind of mentioned at some of these various companies that you worked for, Cruise, Google, you literally kind of choose the words that build trust and guide millions of people in the products that they use multiple times a day, right? So that's why when I was thinking about this, kind of topic today, I was like, what's the proverb that's just budding out of the ground for me? And it's literally you reap what you sow, right? And it feels so perfect for the conversation today. So you're constantly sowing seeds and experiences and then seeing what kind of harvests from that. That's kind of what I was thinking. So let's start there. When you hear you reap what you sow in the context of your work, what does that immediately bring to mind for you? And how do you see that proverb kind of manifesting in the world of content design and user experience?
In terms of content design, I think the sowing is making sure that we're truthful, upfront, transparent about what people are getting into. Content design itself is a part of the user experience design. We're just like the word specialists for the most part. It's like a managing editor at a newspaper. You write the thing, we edit to make sure it's clear, make sure the headline is good, and then we ship it. And in terms of content design, the user experience designer makes sure that you can get from point A to B easily. UI specifically is visual design, so what components you use to turn on and off things. And content is first, do we even need words? Secondly, first is what are we trying to get across? What does the user need to know? And how do we protect the user and get them where they're going while still getting the business needs out? So it's it
sounds like a bit of wordsmithing, but I feel like while it also might be wordsmithing, there's still a very heavy focus on user. You mentioned business, and I think that that's more of the product. What problem is it solving?
Exactly.
And how clear can we make that problem being solved for the user?
Exactly.
So for people who may not understand, it's not even that you're trying to trick anybody so much as you're trying to find this almost perfect, harmonious, perfect situation for both sides where it's oh, wow, this is actually the problem that I have that I need solving. Right. And oh, wow, here's a product that I have for this type of problem. Do you have it? Right. Versus someone that's more manipulative.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For instance, when you go to a website and they tell you their cookie policy or whatever.
Yes.
Ideally, as I guess the best user experience is just flat out give me a one click that says don't sell my personal information, or give me a way to turn this off. The business, of course, wants you to opt in, but legally it's best practice to at least say, hey, we're going to record these things. And then I guess the worst UX within that is just saying, hey, we're going to do this. And you got to press the button to say, I agree.
Right.
Me personally, I'm like trying to walk around there. I'll leave a little panel up just so I don't have to agree to that, you know. But good UX is you either have that quick don't sell my personal information, or you have a clear way to get into preferences where you can turn off and on things and confirm my choices. So it's pretty much like,
so you would design that experience as a content designer.
Yeah. And write all the text as well, get it like legally approved. And I guess like good UX or good content design is making it sound human, like working around the legalese, but still saying what you need to say. And again, like being transparent about how the organization is using your information or your data, and your choices around.
When it comes to like the proverb, you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
How would you relate that to, your work? Yeah,
we're in a space where a lot of companies can do a lot of the same things. So people's power is in preference. So when we sow transparency and trust, it also like grows preference. People like us more, or people prefer this product over another because you were so upfront about your cookie policy, or you didn't make me sign up for that, or you're just like conversational and approachable, I think we were talking earlier about like ends-based design versus design led, and the design-led stuff is like very useful, human, conversational, whereas ends is more technical and just getting getting the past legal, getting it up and working,
Yeah.
So like that showing care, you reap like, customer retention, more conversions from.
But like deeper than business goals, what do you reap? Like by showing up that way in your work, or like thinking about it and like, why do we go these extra, like lengths? Like, what does it actually do? Or what do you feel? Even if it's like, we won't fully have data on this, but my gut feeling is that the difference that it makes outside business goals, for like people that use the products is what?
I think it's a clear conscience. It's like, I'm telling you everything that you're getting into. I'm telling you what we have. I'm telling you not only errors, but ways to fix it. Instead of saying, oh, you can't do that. It's like, oh, do this so you can do that, So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a job, but it's also a product. And like building a quality product is what a craftsman loves.
I never really thought about this. So like, bear with me as I get my thoughts out. When I think about millennials, we talk about ourselves a lot. Like we're the last generation that had a foot in and a foot out.
Right.
Yeah. Right? We can understand some of this old time wisdom because we remember when there wasn't computers to kind of, like rotary phones.
Beepers.
Yeah, like hell, I even remember like
playing outside.
playing outside, street lamps. There's a lot that kind of goes into, you have an idea and it becomes more physical than digital. Like the expression of the idea was more physical, I think. So like if I was like, man, I need to make money, it wasn't, I'm gonna go to a digital service, AI, I'm gonna buy a subscription.
Right.
Nothing physically changed hands.
Right.
It was, I'm gonna go figure out who got a problem I need to solve.
Exactly.
And that usually was a physical problem. And baby, I can't mow my lawn like I used to, and I can't afford it. Can you do it for $10? That's a physical job.
Yep.
Now we got influence, in which in some ways behind the camera is physical, like you're doing something. But now as we move into AI, all you just need is a really damn good prompt.
Yeah. Prompt engineering is going to be, that's all you really need. Yeah.
That's all you really need.
Agent. Yeah.
And I think because there's more larger than life, like potential there, people are going to be more drawn to the infinite possibilities of the way that AI can serve a particular expression of something.
Yeah.
Right? Versus you only got 6 options. You could cut grass, you could sell lemonade, you could sell drugs, you could hoe yourself out. Like, like there's like literally like, let's just be real. There's a lot of physical jobs.
Right.
But now there's infinitely many digital opportunities.
Right. I think the ambition is the same. You still gonna need that ambition, and you still gonna need that pocket. The AI, I guess search AI, like when you ask a question, like informative stuff, that'll help you like along your way. But you got to know where you're coming from and where you want to go, or at least know where you're coming from.
That's a really interesting thing. Let me hop back in because I want to actually talk about knowing where you're kind of like where you're going as you are doing something, like kind of knowing like where you came from, where you are, where you're going, like kind of like what you want. Otherwise, you're using AI like you use search, where it's just like almost like a snapshot of like, I have a question, not why do I have this question? Why am I asking it this way? And what am I really looking for so I can structure my question the best to like get what I want in the first go round. So we've been talking about AI, and obviously like it's increasingly becoming a sower itself.
Yeah.
There's still so much that's like unexplored around AI's potential within itself. AI with some sort of human additive variable, and it's progressive, like it's positive. AI with a human sort of like variable, and it's negative. And I don't necessarily mean negative like it's going to do something to someone. What I mean is like it's not like they got to do 6 different entries just to be able to and get their question answered, versus something that's more efficient, like AI and humans are more aligned. So like the human knows what kind of came before, what the present is, what I'm asking for, what I'm looking for in the future. And then I put it into AI and I'm getting it just like a microwave.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's what it is.
Right? Like you got to have some perception about what the fuck it is that I want.
Yeah.
And where it is that I'm coming from in this gap of information. What's my gap? Right?
Yeah.
Versus people who are like, I don't even know my gap. I'm going to start with this question and this question. And that's fine for brainstorming, but like, it's inefficient. And it also costs the environment more money the more that you search AI. Excuse me real quick while I get on the pedestal.
Get your shit off.
When you don't know what you want and you're not going into a particular AI model that is good for brainstorming, right? That is literally engineered for reducing the amount of requests that you can have on a server and a system that's costing, downstream effects with global climate change, because these things aren't just intangible. When you don't know what you want, there are certain AI optimizations that you can go to for that. But to not be even that knowledgeable and think that I can just ask it 16 questions in a row and not really formulate what it is that I want to know, not only are you wasting your own time, you are also putting the environment in a different situation than it would have been if you had taken the time, here goes the wisdom, to think about what it is that I want to, like if AI were a person and a person was really busy, was a busy ass nigga, how would you then approach that person and say, okay, I only got one shit? Like, think about your favorite celebrity, right? And you're like, say Beyonce. Beyonce cool. Like, I'm not even going to hate on Beyonce. Beyonce cool. Not my top. It would be Sade. If I only had one,
that's the one.
Look, that's a question right there. That's a word. If I only had one question to ask the Sade AI, okay, this Sade that is, she ain't got a lot of time. She's so mystical, and I'm just kind of like shaking in my boots. I don't even know what to say. And her version of that because it costs, it has downstream effects. What would I ask? How would I formulate that question? That level of thinking may not be where we all, are, but think about that when it comes to like the carbon footprint that we're creating when we don't take the time to gather ourselves and ask a very powerful system, what I want to know.
There you go.
Okay, so one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was I've been looking forward to talking to you because I wanted to get into this sort of realm. Like today, we've been talking about AI, we've been talking about the role of wisdom, we've been talking about how it might come up in content design, especially in like these larger organizations with guardrails, et cetera, et cetera. But like, just to focus on wisdom real quick, because we started going into like, relationships. What do you think the biggest? I didn't even show you this. I didn't even show you this question because this is something I got yesterday. Yeah, I had a stuff for. So, what do you think the biggest lie? What do you think the biggest lie is that men are told about being wise? What's the biggest lie? What's the thing that you would be like, that's not even true, but a lot of people believe?
You really don't have to. We grow up and learn that we need to be a provider. We need to be, a safe space, or how I was taught. I was raised by two parents, and I had two sisters. So my dad was very much like respect women and yada yada. Like very much like understood the dynamics of like the male figure. But in reality, I think if you do what works for you, you don't really have to be wise. I think like wisdom and know-how and soft skills definitely determine where you end up in life. But if you just get a decent job and work it, you don't have to be that smart. You don't have to be that forward thinking. Just like pay your bills, keep your credit straight, and then find you a woman that's going, maybe equally yoked, or your job good enough. She just, figure out what parts to play. Find your complement that's gonna make a solid foundation for your kids and your life moving forward. You don't really have to like invest in being knowledgeable or the world around you or anything for real. Like you really like as long as you survive and you could take care of the kids you bring into this world and the family that is around you, you really gotta do nothing else.
There's something interesting about what you said, because I've been reading this book about healing male, sort of like emotional and spiritual inequities within themselves, like where they feel it, but they can't express it. So the unequalness is not necessarily with society. It is a reflection of society, but it's really that male that feels like I want to be better, but I don't know how to. And it's called The Man the Moment Deserves. It's by, I gotta look, we're gonna have to pause because I gotta shout out my guy. He's not.
Yeah, send me that.
Yeah, no, I'm going to. I just started reading it listening to it on Audible. But the man, the moment demands. Sorry, The Man, the Moment Demands by Jason Wilson. Right. Now, Jason Wilson, this is his like third or fourth book, but he has essentially gone at this notion that a man is not like when someone's like, well, what do you think a man is? Like, define it. Like, what do you think a man is? He was like, can't.
Yeah.
And the moment you do, you have put that person, human, in an impossible position.
Yeah.
Right? So this whole like, oh, a man, he's supposed to be strong, he's supposed to be this, he's supposed to be that.
Right.
Right? He's going directly at you can't define.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I feel like you can, but I think
he says that as well.
That's the point of the moment.
Exactly. And that's the point of the moment.
Yeah.
So he talks about this idea of a comprehensive man, which is the man that can arrive in the moment. Now, am I saying all men are or are not comprehensive men? Or it's impossible to blah, blah, blah? Like, no, but this is a this is almost like
It's a jack of all trades type shit.
it's a jack of all trades,
Able to do-
but it's a discernment. And so I struggle with this, right? This is the part of the interview that I'm like, as a friend, I want to talk to you because I don't always know these things. I don't think I'm supposed to know these things, which is actually what's supposed to connect experiences like this, where it's like, I don't know why men don't want to feel that men don't want to be more wise, right? Like when we were talking about like, you know, like the man the moment deserves, and we were talking about like my question, which was, what's the biggest lie that men have been told about, you know, about being wise? And you said it so eloquently, like that they don't have to. There's no real consequence to not choosing a path toward wisdom.
Right.
Wisdom doesn't have to be singular. It may not also be universal. There's some universal wisdom, but some are not. Some are very contextual.
Yeah, and some niggas are streetwise, not book smart.
Exactly. So, but the fact that there's no incentive, almost is what I got from you to say that. There's no real consequence, no evasion of anything to not
universal.
Yeah. To not necessarily choose the more wiser path. Right. Now, when we come to like examples of wisdom in men, like who's the wisest man in your life and why?
Actually, it's not me.
Yeah, right.
Ideally, it's not me. I mean, I get some guy from my dad, from like, you know, still Nipsey Hussle and, you know, some Jay-Z bars. Tyler, the Creator.
Wisdom.
Yeah, they're just like, I'm like more talking about like perspective.
Mm-hmm.
It's wisdom Insight. And wise words. Yeah. It's also like how they think and how they perceive things and how they articulate those things. So a lot of rappers for me. And people I don't know. But yeah, my dad for sure. You said why? Yeah, like why would you say that those people who are in your life, those men that are wise, why are they? Why do I think they're wise? Yeah. Or like what why do you think they're wise? Or what wisdom have you observed specifically? My dad showed me more so than told me, so lead by example type shit. Also he just gave me like little tidbits. Growing up for sure. And again, like just like growing up and like having more understanding about why he did things he did or why he said the things he did. It like makes more sense now as an adult. Like he used to tell me, walk like you got somewhere to be. Mm-hmm. So like it's like head up and you move because you got somewhere to be. Like people see that and perceive more power. But I guess more persistence and then like some authority. But really like they understand that you're coming for something, you know. And if you take that same concept, it's just like don't waste time, be efficient and effective with your timing. Don't play with people's time. And like get what you came for. It kind of like it comes back to exactly what we were talking about with like AI and content design, like where it was like there is a real cost to AI. Yeah. So walk like you got somewhere to be. It's also kind of like, you know, like maybe even question like you got something to know. Right. Yeah. Honestly, I don't even use those types of platforms a lot. Like ChatGPT, I'm trying to get into it now. Yeah. And like figure out ways to utilize it because we feel like it's like the new internet. Like when the internet popped, well, let's say AOL era, 2000s-ish, the old people were like, we were like the computer whizzes because we knew how to use fucking SGs, you know, or AOL, you know, or we was on AIM. fucking coding on MySpace. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We was the
It was coding on my face. It was. Actually, now that I think about it, I was like, dang, I was doing too much just to post a picture. I was doing way too much just to be like, I'm cool and whatever.
Exactly.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yo, to get my music player to show, that was actually, I think I did.
Or the high, too.
Yeah, or the high. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. And when you was scroll,
the layouts,
Yo, MySpace, y'all will never know what MySpace.
You had to be there.
You had to be there at the beginning when you're eating crumbs. You had to eat crumbs to know the hunger that we was trying to do. Now y'all got AI, anyway, whatever.
But yeah, so I'm feeling like I need to understand it. I understand it conceptually,
sure.
But like practically, I feel like I need to like see the usefulness of it for myself. Because again, like corporate is saying everybody's doing it, and tech is like everybody's doubling down on this AI stuff. So it may not click like they wanted to, like NFTs, but it's still going to be around for a bit. So I need to at least know how to handle it, how to use it as a tool to do my work better or just in general.
Would you say that's the wisdom of the moment? Like the wisdom of the moment.
Yeah.
But put that in your own words, like just exactly what you was talking about, where it was like, I gotta stay up.
Yeah, you gotta stay fresh, stay cutting edge. Honestly, you gotta understand the cutting edge and be on top of it, or you get lost.
What?
If you want to stay alive, if you want to perpetuate what you're doing,
yeah,
it's gonna be a different way of doing things. Like, say, 100 years ago, I might have been a saxophonist. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm a producer. I'm just making music. Nothing beats a live musician, but we do have producers and DJs. Like, there's more DJs at weddings now than bands.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Maybe next is going to be, hey, give me anyway, Spotify's playlist, like AI playlists, ain't got nothing on mine.
Ain't got nothing on real people. They still can't even figure me out. Like,
yeah. They just updated the algorithm, so my recommendations are better. But overall, like you're not gonna replace the person and the feeling of that. But it's like as a music purveyor, it used to be let's learn saxophone. Now it's like let's learn Serato or FL Studio. Next is gonna be whatever's next. You know what I'm saying? So let me make sure that I understand these tools so they're in my bag. It's not going to be. You
can't use it against me.
Exactly. Or you're not gonna be better than me just because you know this.
Right.
Because I know this too.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, so let me get to my last question.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm so great. Okay. So we kind of talked about this, but I want to center on it a little bit more. What would you tell your younger self about seeking wisdom? Right? We've kind of talked about this a little bit with like, why and maybe it's not as popular. So like, what would you tell your younger self about seeking wisdom? Mm-hmm. You pick any age, pick even 9, you could pick 9 events, you don't have to know about them, but like the age, right? What would you tell yourself about seeking wisdom, your younger self?
All right.
And what advice, because you know how it's and what advice would you give to people listening who are exploring finding their own?
Okay. I'll probably get back to the second part.
Yes. So what would you tell your younger self?
So generally about those younger self things, I'm like, I wouldn't change a thing. I got where I got through cutting my teeth, through, trials and tribulations, through like doing good and seeing good come back, paying it forward and then getting blessed, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't do too much to fuck up the program, you know what I'm saying?
So you love where you arrived.
Yeah. And how I got here as well. And I'm like, I forget the proper like quotes and everything, but it's like, if I wasn't I had to be that so I could be this, essentially. But generally, I'd probably say learn what you can and use it when it feels right, you know. So like be a sponge, continue to be a sponge, and like most things mean something. Like if you get an energy, if you get a feeling, I feel like intuition is subconscious understanding of something. You know, like if something comes in your line of sight, kind of click to it because it's new. And that's like a subconscious
thing, a subconscious awareness of something new. So I think when you have a gut feeling about something, or you just so happen to stumble upon something and it feels like aligned, or you like run into a friend. Like I was randomly in Chicago for like 2 days. And I was like walking to my little I was walking to my what do you call this? Like a not a B&B, but like a
Hostel?
Yeah, a hostel. Yeah. I was doing a hostel for once.
Mm-hmm.
Never did a hostel, never did it since.
Yeah.
But I was doing it that one day. I was walking there and like I literally ran into one of my homies from Memphis. Like we both not from there. I think he just started med school out there and I was out there for a conference. And he was like, as he was parking as I was walking up the street, he was like circling his car to go to the meter. And I was like, we literally bumped into each other. Like, oh, my fault. I'm like, oh shit, I know you.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it'd be little shit like that where it's like, had I not got that hostel, had I not signed up for that conference, I would have never like done that and aligned in that. And from there, like that led into not only me like seeing him and learning about his new journey, but also us get into an endeavor later on in life. So like it's like little stuff like that makes me feel like just following your heart, following your intuition, gets you places, and it's like either your spirit guides, your ancestors, your DNA, or like the current universe just moving you towards where you need to be. So listen to all of that.
There's a listening and there's also submission. Yeah. And I feel like opening up the wisdom around submission, something that can be very scary for people.
Yeah.
Very, like even the word of it is usually because of Hollywood, almost kind of taken into this place of like submission is right next to death. If you submit, you've lost a war, you've lost a competition, you put yourself in a position of vulnerability, of mortality.
Right. I like how Erykah Badu said it. I heard it recently. She did some kind of interview, but she was talking about, I guess it was like how men and women work and you submit to your man. And she was like, it's submission because you submit to the mission. Whoever has the mission, like you follow the mission, your submission is like helping the mission. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have the mission, if they don't have the mission, then why submit to them? You know what I'm saying? Talk about
Look, that right there is a word. If they don't have the mission, then why submit?
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of times too, okay, so here's my own sort of perspective, and I'm going to be talking about this shit for probably a while, but like I was saying earlier, where I feel like there was a time in history where labor was actually not so much about gender than we think it is. Like, if in college I had to, I was tasked in this class called the Sociology of Violence to almost like put myself in the shoes of a slave owner.
Okay.
When you research, and I'm talking about you kind of leave out all of this other hegemonic superiority eugenics conversations of the time. And you focus more on this mathematical, quantifiable, predictable, almost Vegas relationship of labor.
Mm-hmm.
You can understand why some people made the choice they did. I'm not excusing them.
Yeah.
I'm just doing research.
It's like,
so,
here's the game. Here's how it goes.
yes. Yeah, I'm playing a game.
Yeah.
So the game right now for me is to figure out, hey, I need steel.
Yeah.
It's in the ground. I'll wager a risk of standing up a company. We can maybe support 2,000 miners. And we'll do the infrastructure to this particular level of safety.
Mm-hmm.
And I will work them 7 days a week on that 2,000 worker schedule. And for me, it is a race to innovation or material supply chain decisions where we need steel. We need steel to be able to build the skyscrapers of tomorrow, the ones that we all marvel at today.
Yeah.
So let me go ahead and get some miners together. Now, one day I hear about a mine collapsing. 17 people are killed. 18 people are still unaccounted for. And with this pot of profit and potential, what do I do with it? Because I don't know enough information from a business standpoint to make a decision that hedges the risk that I've already accrued.
Right.
I'm not saying it's right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying play the game, play Monopoly.
Yeah.
If you did that, you could possibly empathize, not saying that you should, but you could possibly empathize with people who were in situations of labor that not only said, I'm going to go with the male body over the female body.
Yeah.
Because the male body can do something that the female body can't do, which is lift 2.2 tons with only 11 people.
Right. Yes.
And the woman body can only do things that men can't do, which is, support and carry life to term.
Right.
So I'm going to play now as an investor who's trying to get my money up. I'm trying to get my money up.
Yeah.
I look at companies and I say, who is the CEO? Who's the team? And I make judgments on how much I'm going to invest in that company. The same way I might look at a brute body and make some inhuman conclusions.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that once you understand the real game,
Yeah.
and women who are trying to get the vote back in 1910s and 1920s, keep the vote in 2025, you know what I'm saying? Like 20 years, 100 years later, you can understand that when people say, yeah, okay, fine, the face of it, a lot of it is male.
Yeah.
But the true face of it is human because there are people who would do the same thing if they walked a mile in the shoes.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And again, like it's
Which is why I don't put it against, I love y'all black people, but I don't put it against black people to have made some of the same mistakes should they have been given the same power. The problem is we were never given the same power. Now, what happens, real quick, because I know you're about to jump in, what happens when people who have power that are keeping it and suppressing power or the access to it from others, they think that in order to give power to those folks who are powerless, they reduce in power.
Mm-hmm. Zero sum.
I'm actually going to go into a specifically defined answer about this, which is that is true. It doesn't mean that you have less money, because really what you care about is money, and you equate money to power. But power is not money. Power is influence.
Right.
Power is capability. Power is potential. Power is an unknown. Yes, power is a black hole in physics.
Yeah.
Where somehow we are safe so many light years away, but those that are closest to it have an undefined timeline.
Yeah. Power. You brought in physics, and I'm thinking power is potential.
Power is potential.
Yeah. It's like having the potential to do things, and you don't flex it a lot, but it's there when you need it. You know what I mean?
It's lethal. Can be.
And the less you use it, the more powerful it is. Honestly, the stronger.
I'm glad you talked about it, because that reminds me of gamification. The less you use some of your stamina in a game, the less it decreases, the more it boosts itself. It 20x's itself.
Yeah.
If you could look at wisdom, if you could look at power potential. Right now we're living in an age where so many non-black people have adopted and have adapted black ways of being. We'll not talk about where the origins are from. Right now, we're in the age of this fourth industrial revolution that affords men, if you let me tell it, and I'm curious to know, because I've been talking a while, but I want to know how. If you let me tell it, it's this affordance of a connection to something that is other than hypermasculine. Could be masculine.
Mm-hmm.
Could be feminine.
Mm-hmm.
Could be hyperfeminine. Mm-hmm. Some people who identify as men, are in the process of moving away from an anchor so heavy, so deeply entrenched into the bedrock of the ocean.
Yeah.
That it's just like Sade's Lover's Rock in a sadistic way.
I love a callback.
Right? Come on, somebody. That is like, I hold to you in the storm. When I think about anchors and I think about boats, they are tossed about. Sometimes depending on the radius of the anchor, but they can be tossed about from half a mile in either direction of a radius, where they're just like, we didn't know what was going to happen, because we also could have toppled over in those waves and we got hit by a few of them.
Yeah.
But the wrong type of anchor and the wrong type of storm is not something that men think too much about. I've been so curious and anxious about men like you,
mm-hmm.
who have an awareness that is, if AI and data is this sort of short-term future, men who choose wisdom and seek to lead from that place, from that seat of the soul, as someone who dates women, I find myself in a potential, a perspective, admiration, and submission in a way I've never felt before, in a way that feels sci-fi. Just like we might think about Afrofuturism, I think about men who have this ability in physical and spiritual realm
to bring us to a place that only really they can envision and only really they can lead, but only really they can also empathize with those that they are leading.
Mm-hmm.
It's important that you feel safe, but I'm sorry to tell you that right now, for the next, if I knew exactly 3 months, you're going to feel unsafe. And I still need you to cling to me like a rock in a storm.
Mm-hmm.
Because I, as the rock, am not without consciousness to know to whom is clinging to me.
Mm-hmm.
It is my great honor to be felt in that way,
Mm-hmm.
to be relied upon, to be seeked out in purpose, that without me, we both diminish. And with me, we both carry on, even if my existence at some point in this time series bows to you. It's no secret that men have a shorter lifespan, but it has not been researched the potential that they have in these formative years that they have them to impact the potential of those around them. It's only, the cop, retires, he dies much sooner. When a fireman, and he's a male, retires, he dies much sooner unless he finds something to do. Or a wife commonly outlives her husband, which is why we know widow versus widower,
Right.
as a term.
Yeah.
I want to see, even as someone who does not romantically involve themselves with, I want to see men come into this position, chosen, destined, can't even ignore the calling of wise leadership. The things that I'd read, and as someone who's not even romantically interested in this, I'm tickled, right? Sapiosexually, like I want to be enveloped by the thing that you know with certitude that I yet know and have yet been introduced to. Teach me, please. And those men that are like, my name must live on. My legacy is important. I dare you to open what that means as a definition, to grab those people who are willing to that see you and want to, and feel almost guilty if they don't. Make them feel dirty with your wisdom, with your leadership, with your power, that if they don't carry you on, you will haunt them passively, because we don't have time for the active. Like, I'm not coming back from the grave for you, bitch ass. Like, but at the same time, my memory and the fact that you did not do what you should have done by me, put them in that position of reverence or guilt, because you've done such a great job of bringing about the only thing that you could have done, that no one else could have done, that brings your name into history, that puts your name on the lips of all. I get it. I'm Black. I carry legacy as a burden, but I can only imagine what men come into when it's like, how do I get to that place where I actually live forever, where actually means, where all of this might made it?
Yeah.
Like for you, what is, I don't even know if I can even ask you, like, what is that moment? But
Yeah, you just said a lot. But
yeah, just comment on whatever, right?
I say on that point about living forever and leaving an impact, one of my favorite quotes is Pericles. What you leave behind is not what's engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others. So it is about impact. And like I always say, or in my bios, it says impact over influence. I've said that like for like 10 years. People started calling me an influencer just because I'm like new, like creatives and politicians and all the type of folks in New Orleans when I was like doing my thing out there. I was really like influencing on the precipice of like social influence. You know what I'm saying? It's like more so like, oh, I'm going to this thing and I say that, people gonna be there. You know what I mean? Like literally like making people maneuver the way I maneuver, you know. But I'm like impact over influence because I want to actually like be remembered for what I did. Or like how Maya Angelou says, like they may forget what you did, but they're not gonna remember how you made them feel. They're gonna remember that all the time. So that's how I present myself to the world. It's like I'm adding to your, and again, like with the relationship stuff too, I'm adding to the life, not taking away from it. You know, I want to be a pro, not a con. So I'm like moving every day to like add. If I'm doing anything, I'm adding to your life, or I'm enhancing or showing you what I like, so you can kind of make your own decisions.
We thank Tyree Worthy for coming to this podcast, Becoming Big Mama, to offer his wisdom both on content design from the various experiences that he's had throughout technology career, but also where he's even poured into his own community through the consultation of Worthy Works or even the salon that is so prominent here at SF. And with that, I will give him the mic to kind of shout out the socials where folks can keep up with you.
All right. Appreciate you. Thank you again for having me. It's been a pleasure. This camera. It's me, Tyree. Very, brass tacks to the point. Salon is salon.exp on the Instagram. That's about it. Everything else, like, that's how you contact me. tcworthy.com if you want to do that. salonxp.com if you're looking for event production or I guess DJ services now. All that type of stuff. Anything event related or content strategy related, just hit me up. I'll do what I can. Yeah. And again, like, it's not about me. It's about sharing my wealth of knowledge and my resources and my skills to, better ourselves, better each other.
And I'm going to give you a title right now, which is, this man is in the community. Like, he knows so many people in the SF area and is not even necessarily native to the area. And that shows the willingness that he is kind of keeping the community, like, the forefront. East Bay, West Bay, which is not really a thing, but like SF, yes, yeah. But definitely hit him up. Keep him in mind for, even where's the party at tonight, because he's got so many things that he's connected to. So go follow. It's Tyree, the salon.
Yep, salon.exp.
Salon.exp. And we'll have all this on the website for you to check out. So I appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Look, blessing me with all the things that I need to know about things that are just outside myself. Like, I'm like, I could think about them, but I just need to talk about them with people that I trust. So
there you go. Yeah.
All right, love.
Community.